You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hello. This is Nevermind the Space Cadettes. Actually, we are Space Cadets. Do mind us. And I'm Alfie.
Over here.
Be wrong.
Somewhere is Bean and Jena. Somewhere over here. Yeah.
That was greatness. I love it.
There they are.
Hello.
I'm just imagining, but we're just completely off the screen, and then we pop in, and as you're like, oh, there they are. Ta-da.
There they are.
So right before the show, yes, we're here. So right before the show, we were talking about British shows, and I have such shame upon my head because one of my favorite ones is Nevermind the Buzzcocks, and Bean had never seen it before, so I was showing her one of my favorite clips, which is the Preston Walkoff clip, and the John Barrowman Gayoff clip, which I will have to show you that one later. And then Alfie was reminding me that oh gosh, what's the hide and seek show called again?
The hide and seek show?
Yeah, like they're in a house and they get clues and they have to do random things.
Oh, are you talking about Taskmaster?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's not a hide and seek show. That's you get a task and then you have to do the thing.
Yeah. Well, okay, so my first episode that I ever watched of Taskmaster was they had to hide themselves in a picture.
Well, there's that. There is like one specific task that is hide from Alex.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's a fun one.
I do really like that one. That one's fun. So yeah, Bean, what's your favorite British TV show?
Oh, see, I know what the answer to this is. It's like I feel like the answer is kind of like lame and generic, but definitely it's the Great British Bakeoff. Like
that's a great show.
I know, and I watch it religiously, and then like I needed a show. My apartment, it's kind of loud. Like there's like a lot of outside noise that comes in, and it stresses out my dog. And so I knew I needed to have like a dedicated show that I would always put on for him as I was leaving the house to indicate to him like I'm leaving, but just be chill and go to sleep. And so then I just started putting on the Great British Baking Show. So now every time I leave to like keep my dog calm, I put that on for him. And so he sits and like listens to like 3 episodes every time I leave the house.
Well, I wonder if he's a great baker now. Like he knows all the good baking secrets.
I guess probably.
Well, no, like the Great British Bake Off is not about learning how to bake. It's like people messing up.
So now he knows what not to do.
Yeah. You do learn though. I've learned some things. Maybe I was just really bad to begin with, but I learned.
I mean, fair.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would say I think my of like the comedy like shows that have been on forever for British shows though is like I love QI. Like I think that's my favorite of like their
QI is great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, did anyone ever watch My Family?
I don't think so.
I've never seen Your Family
Man.
before.
True, you haven't. I mean,
I've
the
met your
show
mom.
My Family. No, the
Oh,
show
okay.
My Family, the British show My Family. It's a sitcom, and it has the actress that teaches how to fly a broom in Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other people in it, but it's such a fun show. It's great, but I have only been able to rewatch it through nefarious ways.
Come on, Netflix, get it together.
Yeah, they should get more British shows, please.
I mean, they
I
gave us
want
Bridgerton.
all of them. They gave us what?
Bridgerton, and they've given us Peaky Blinders. Why can't they give us Your Family?
Well, why can't they give us any other British show that's like a thing?
Is it Downton Abbey? Abbey is on Netflix, isn't it?
I think so. I've always meant to watch it.
Yeah, that's been on my list.
Sherlock's been on your list, or Downton Abbey?
No, Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay. I watched the movie, and in retrospect, I feel like that was a mistake because I should have watched the show before I watched the movie. Yeah. It was still really good though. Like knowing nothing about it, except for one of my favorite actresses in the world is in it. Who's also a Harry Potter actress. Yes. Oh, I love her. Anyways, I knew nothing about it going into it other than everybody was raving about it. And I was like, oh, it's a movie? I thought it was show. Let me watch movie. Wait, what's happening? Wait, who died? Wait, they died when? What? Who did what? Who's doing who? Oh, but they did them before? What did I miss? Like, I'm like, okay, I need to go find the show.
I have like a fear of it. I have a fear of Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to keep up with what all the characters are doing. I know this isn't slightly irrational, but I'm just scared of it.
I felt the same way about Bridgerton, but I keep up with that.
Wait,
I am bored.
What do you mean? That you're afraid that you won't be able to keep up with what they're doing?
I think it's because like I'm afraid because they'll be like, oh, Miss Crumplebottom is doing this and her nephew here. Because like sometimes with like Jane Austen stuff, I would get lost and be like, wait a minute, why is their niece here? And like
okay, so like the different storylines of each character.
Yeah, and like why? Because there's so much like subtlety of like, oh, well, this was a faux pas because that was her butler. You know, like it's like I'm worried I'm gonna like miss the nuance and then not know what's going on. And
please go watch Bridgerton. Please. 2 seasons.
Bridgerton.
You've seen it?
Yeah. Okay. I've seen some Bridgerton, and I heard you yelling about it when the second season came out. So I've got some things.
Okay, I wasn't okay, oh, no. You know what? This needs some explanation. This needs an explanation. Okay. I wasn't yelling about it because I was mad at it. I was yelling at it because it took them first off, it took them a year to make and then another 6 months to release. So it was a year and a half between seasons. Second off, it's a different couple that they focus on in the second season than the first season. And so one of the main characters from the first season that just oh god, he's such a beautiful man, wasn't there, but like
Yeah.
It's
See,
so
that's
good.
what it sounded like when she was watching the second season.
Except for I'm pretty sure it was more like, yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Which is exactly my reaction when they dropped the trailer. Now, when they dropped the first episode, I literally told everybody, like I told my husband and I told him to take the dog. I was like, get out of the room. I need the room for this show. There is something about watching Bridgerton that, okay, so there are some very spicy scenes in Bridgerton. Okay.
There's a but.
Spicy.
Oh,
Like in the first season.
Excuse me.
In the first season, there's literally a whole episode where the main couple after their wedding are literally just doing it all over the like not castle, but mansion, like their house, just everywhere. And then that follows up to another half episode of them just doing it everywhere and just like, so it's spicy, right? It has nudity is in this show. Anywho, so it's 2 seasons. In the second season, there wasn't as much spice. Oh, but they didn't have a full episode like they did in the first season of spiciness, but they did have a half episode of spiciness. Like hot spicy. Like, oh my god, these two beautiful people are gonna make beautiful babies, and I am watching with no shame. But I have this bad luck. I have this very weird, I don't know if it's my bad luck or my husband's bad luck, where when he walks in, it's always right at the peak spicy of whatever I'm watching or reading. Like I was literally reading this manga for 2 years. I was reading this manga and there was no spicy whatsoever, right? None, never, none. Then Jay walks into the room and then it starts getting spicy. And I'm like, what happened? You guys literally just started holding hands. What is going on here? Where did this come from? And then of course it's right when Jay happens to look over and he's like, oh, you're reading your spicy books. And I'm like, it wasn't 5 minutes ago. It wasn't for these last 2 years. But I think we lost Alfie to Bridgerton.
I know. She's just gonna start watching Bridgerton mid-episode and
I am listening though. I hear you.
Yeah. So I could do a whole takeover of Bridgerton. Don't even start me because after watching the first
You've
season,
already done a takeover.
I know I can't do another one till like next year. Anywho, but
you have to give us a chance.
I know. I think the next time it should be Bean's turn after me. I think that would be fair. Anywho, or Alfie, I don't know. You all decide. I already did mine. But I went and read the books. So of the 6 kids, each of the 6 kids, 6 Bridgerton kids has their own book, right? And now they're going to have each their own season. And I'm like, the fact that they turned one book into a season is just perfect.
It is nice.
Oh, and it gets, the show is also the same production team that does Grey's Anatomy, but with like Netflix money. So,
I already, there's a wedding that happened this year and, I was being told about it from the perspective of a guy and he was like, man, it was really cool because they had this they had like people playing instruments like in person. They used the right, what is that called where they just have
orchestra?
Like it's not an orchestra, it's a small like a
quartet.
Yeah, I guess a quartet. They had people playing instruments there and they were doing classical arrangements of pop songs, full Bridgerton style.
Yes.
And I did not call it out though. like at all. I was just like, wow, that's so inventive. I was not gonna be like, yeah, she watched Bridgerton.
Yeah.
She loves Bridgerton. I was
We're gonna
just
get
like,
copyright strikes.
oh no.
Alfie, can you just wait 45 minutes? 45 minutes. That's all you gotta wait. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So spicy.
Yeah.
So delicious. It's like that good burn. As I've been explained it to.
I'm gonna be honest, I watched the first few episodes and just didn't get into it. But I also definitely did not get to the episode where the whole thing is.
It's in the second half of the season. I think, what is there, 8 episodes?
Yeah, in the first season there's 8 episodes.
Okay, so, and it's like episode 6 or 7 is all spice. The whole hour of very spicy. And it's been like teasing it for the 2 episodes before that.
Mm.
You're just like, oh, this was worth the wait.
Nice.
I love how we both are nodding, just like, oh yeah, we understand.
I'm just taking your word for it because I haven't seen it. So yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any of those. A lot of my shows I watch, I've realized that there's kind of a theme. I watch a lot of depressing stuff, like sad stuff.
So a lot of BoJack Horseman.
I am. I'm watching BoJack Horseman right now. I'm in the 3rd season.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, actually, have you ever watched You're the Worst?
I don't think so. Is that the one with Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it?
Oh, I don't know the names.
I watched one. Let me see.
The first episode starts off very spicy. But then like after the spiciness, the woman goes to shower, and for some reason they start talking about like, do you wash your legs? That's a
controversial question.
But she's like, no, I don't wash my legs. That's extra time. The water and soap goes down. Who cares?
Yeah.
What?
But yeah,
it's a thing.
No,
it's a thing.
No, it's not. No. You know what I found out? No.
It. Okay.
I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this before.
Probably, but I mean, this was in the show. Actors were given these lines, so it's a whole thing. And then there's also there's like a war veteran that's like trying to get mental health treatment throughout this, but he's like friends with the dude who's like super narcissistic and messed up, and then the chick is kind of narcissistic in her own role, but also depressed. It's a whole thing. It's a great show. I watch it when I'm sad. It's great.
I might have to try that one. I'm trying to remember which one I watched. I watched one though, and I think it's also because the other thing I watched recently to like make myself feel better was I finally finished Fleabag. If you guys have seen that one, it didn't make me feel better.
First a little bit. I haven't seen it all.
I haven't heard of this one.
It is good. It is. I guess that's the closest thing to having like a spicy show that I would have. It deals a lot. There is a lot of spicy content. It is framed as like a lot of like self-destructive like trauma response. So maybe not as like the same as Bridgerton, but It's good.
There's trauma response in that too.
Oh, is there? I
And
didn't get
mental
that.
health. Yeah. The second season, a soldier comes home. Or no, maybe thinking of something else. But they do deal with it where somebody has a trauma done to them and they have to work their way through it. And they don't do it in the best way. So yeah. And then you do get to see so King at the time has a declining mental health. So you get to see the queen trying to deal with the trauma of losing her child and losing her husband to, I think it's dementia. So, and that's how you find out she's dealing with it by being in everybody's personal business in Bridgerton. That's what the queen is going through a lot. And they've actually announced they're going to do a season just for the queen. And that's exciting for me. So she's having to deal with, in the second season at least, they kind of touch on it for like 1 or 2 episodes. There is a scene where her husband, I want to say it's dementia, or he's mentally broken after the loss of his child. And he blames her for it. But then like a few minutes later, he's like, oh, it's my loving wife. Our wedding was just last week. And she has to be able to flip like that for him, to be like, I love you no matter what. I know you blame me for the loss of our child, but I still love you, to being like, oh yes, our wedding was so lovely. And then you see her behind closed doors just being like, how she deals with everything that's going on is literally reading the paper that's being written and also trying to figure out who is writing it. So, and she's really messy. The queen is really messy. She likes to meddle in. She's like, oh, you know what? You're the bachelor of the season. You know what? You're my rose for the season. Get married. And you're just like, okay, queen. Okay, queen, go off. So, yeah. Woo! I really love that show. And the books are really good too.
Have you read all of them?
No, I'm still missing the last 2.
Oh.
I haven't been able to find them yet. Well, online. I haven't been able to find them to read online yet.
Yeah.
Oh my tablet. Tablet. Read you. So I don't know the story of the last 2 Bridgerton children yet, which in the first season, they're like 6 or 7 when everything's going down. So and it's really cool that they're using all the same cast. As they're aging up, they're kind of like aging with the story and the season. So it's really fun.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because if they do one each year, it literally will. That's crazy. That's gonna be awesome.
I know, right? Excuse me. Sorry. Another British show I really, really enjoy is The Misfits.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, so it's about a group of delinquent kids in England that are doing community service, and then a big cloud comes in and like electrocutes everybody, but gives them powers.
Yeah, it's great, and it's got the one of the terrible people from Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name in that.
Joffrey's in
Huh?
it. Not Joffrey. No, it was Ramsay. No. Ramsay Bolton. The actor
Ramsay, that's his name. Yeah. And then the dude that I think plays Klaus in
Robert Sheehan.
Yeah. In Umbrella Academy. Yeah.
It's good. It's got a bunch of cast.
Super good.
It's also got in the second half of the series, like I think it's the last 3 seasons, it's the guy who plays the vampire in Preacher. And I love that show too. But so yeah, and they're not always good with their powers. Like one of them, she when you touch her, sexual desire comes out.
There's also I think it's in the first season. There's that dude that can control dairy.
Yeah. Controls dairy.
Yeah, so there's like a whole thing where he ensures that everyone on this like boat, I think, or something like there's an area where there's a bunch of people around, and he made sure that everyone was going to have dairy in their system so that he could control it and make it kill them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And then
Never-
there was
it's
another.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Then there's one dude who you don't know he has any powers until the last like 5 minutes of the last episode of the first season. And that's greatness. Because he's like, well, maybe this is my power. Maybe this is my power. Maybe I'm this. And you're just like, does he have a power? I don't think he does. And then you're just like, that's his power? What? Yeah. It's really good. What was it? I think it was 5 seasons. Let me look.
It was the
It's 4
power
or
of
5.
friendship all along.
Yeah.
I will just add
Miniseries.
these to my infinitely long already list of things I need to watch.
It was 5 seasons and 37 episodes. There was a handful of webisodes too.
Yeah, I think I only saw the first season and I haven't continued. I think there's also a dude that's I swear that that's the show where there's a dude that's gay, but his power is like when he says in the closet, he's like in the closet.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was funny. Oh, it's on Hulu. Dope. Thank you, Mr. Producer, for letting us know. So
His power is that he can be in a closet.
he gets
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he can just appear in a closet and that's his power. And yeah, like from what I've been told, it is very goofy.
I love
But
it.
it is what it is.
Yeah. It's such a good series.
I think my superpower is declaring that we're going to commercial break. Watch out. We'll be right back.
You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form. Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find a link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.
And we are back. We just watched, so we've been struggling with copyright strike a little bit. So we just watched the Barbie trailer, the Barbie movie trailer, because I really wanted them to see it. And Jena has things to say about it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was a lot. I need another minute. Alfie, do you have something to say about it first? Like, wow.
Oh, I only remember seeing some negative Twitter comments about it, which of course you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, No, I mean it looks great. I'm excited for it.
I'm gonna watch
It looks it looks really fun.
Yeah. It just like
It looks fun.
I've been calling the Barbie movie directed by Greta Gerwig is like gonna be some weird stuff. It's gonna get weird. Cause I'm also like
weird in the trailer.
Yeah, it's a 2001 Space Odyssey homage trailer for a Barbie movie. Like it's gonna be so good. I'm excited to watch it and Oppenheimer in a double feature. It's gonna be great.
Oh, I mean, hey, Space Cadettes watch party.
Yeah.
Like we all go see these movies and then we come back and be like, "Oh, hey, these are our thoughts."
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say real quick, since I've been since he told me about it, about Oppenheimer, I've been like talking about it, mentioning it, and now my phone is like, oh, hey, do you want to learn about atoms? Do you want to learn about various physics or a deep dive into this sort of thing? And it's like, no, I just want to go see this movie. But thank you, phone. Thank you for spying. I appreciate it.
I'm pretty sure all our FBI agents are probably thinking, what is going on with these three people?
We just live in a society with atoms.
I got told the craziest thing. This is totally a sidetrack, guys, but I got told the craziest thing the other day at the store.
A sidetrack in this show.
I know, right? So somebody at the store actually told me that there was no way to solve E = MC squared. That nobody has ever solved it. Do you know what I did? I pulled out a piece of paper and showed them how to use that equation just on the sun's gravitational pull. And they were like, oh, that's what it means. Then how come nobody can solve it? And I was just like,
dude, I'm about to walk off.
I did walk off. I was like, you know what? I have to go get ready for a live show.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Like I didn't know how to react to something like that. Like, is it not taught in schools anymore? Or is it just like,
I don't think okay, but also I came from a school district a long way from here. Physics was not taught, period, in my school at all. There's no way equals MC squared was ever going to be touched on because basic physics weren't taught.
physics was a mandatory class in my high school. Like, you couldn't graduate without taking either a physics or a rudimentary physics class.
Oh, I will say, like, in my high school, the way that our high school was is that, like, you didn't have to take all 4 years of math and science. You could just do 2 years of math and science, and then the other 2 years, whatever, and just hang out.
Okay. Okay, just making sure. Just.
Yeah, like, I mean, I took biology and I took base physics. No, I had chemistry. Okay, no, never mind. It's the first 3 years you had to take a math and a science, but then that last year you could do whatever. But I definitely took biology, chemistry, and physics. Those were my base things.
Are you okay,
in
Jena?
Beaumont.
She seems scared.
I'm so sorry, guys. I took all the math classes my high school offered. So I took...
Yeah, but didn't you go to college for math?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't.
Both my
So
degrees
that was
is in
not a
mathematics.
necessity.
So both my degrees are in maths. Yes. That was sideways, right? But yeah, so that I don't know why the Barbie movie made me think of that. But the Barbie movie triggered that memory.
Yeah. I think it's because we were talking about Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Oppenheimer didn't. Okay, anywho. But yeah, for some reason, like I was watching it and she throws the baby doll in the air, and I'm like, man, she's got a good arm. Hold on a minute. That doesn't match up with science. And then just the whole thing just didn't match up with anything. And then is it gonna be a musical? Margot Robbie in a musical? It felt like it.
Yeah, it did. It definitely had like big dance scene energy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
If they, for some reason, do not use Aqua's Barbie World in this movie, then I don't even know. Like, that's a missed opportunity.
Oh, I know, right? I am kind of glad that they changed. Like, so when they originally announced this movie, it was supposed to be another actress. And I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that actress. I feel like Margot Robbie is really going to kill it. Like, she's got this in the bag, yeah.
Who was the other actress?
Amy. Oh my gosh, she's a comedian. Who was it?
It's not Amy Schumer. It can't be.
No, it was. Hold, please.
Amy Adams?
It was. No.
Also, I do want to clarify, I did misspeak. E equals MC squared is only one constant. I'm just still in math brain instead of physics brain.
It was Amy
I'm so used to E being a constant. That's my bad.
It was supposed to be Amy Schumer.
Okay, now on that note, I actually
I broke Alfie. Oh
no! She just wants
No,
to
I'm done with
watch
this.
Bridgerton.
she wants to go watch Bridgerton. That's what it is. I see. So
Well,
yeah, when
I
they
do.
originally announced it, it was supposed to be Amy Schumer. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of what changed, but I am kind of glad that they
Amy Schumer? Is Barbie?
Yeah,
Margot Robbie is perfect as Barbie.
Margot Robbie is perfect. Like I have to look up the rest of the cast.
She's absolutely perfect, and she actually is a good actress. Unlike Amy.
Will Ferrell and Michael Cera is supposed to be in this movie.
Everybody's in there. I'm telling you, everybody in there.
I mean,
Ryan Gosling.
I'm fine with everyone else. It's just like Amy Schumer was supposed to be Barbie.
Yeah. On that note, I think it is time for Pick of the Week. Pick of the Week. Welcome back to Pick of the Week. We kind of broke Alfie for a minute there. So this week, it was my week, and I picked from Red 5 Comics. It was called Afterburn. I love this series. The mutant shark is probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole book. So please tell me, you guys, what did you think? And also, who here has feelings about nuclear fallout after a radiation solar flare?
Oh, well, I can't wait
about it. I'm scared of it. It's scary, actually.
It is scary.
I like how we have both on the opposite ends. Like, I can't wait. And you're like, oh, I'm kind of scared about
it. All right. So, Alfie, did you get to read all of it or like some of it or?
I read the first 2 issues at least.
Okay.
Same. Exactly the same as first 2.
Oh, so what I just gave you was a spoiler then. I'm sorry.
No, the shark attack happens.
The shark happens in the first issue.
but not the nuclear fallout.
Oh, I thought that's what was happening. You can just
No.
like look up
Oh,
theories.
well, no, it's a solar flare.
Yeah. From the radiation from the solar flare is what mutated a lot of people and things on that side of the planet. Even though 90% of them are dead, the other 10% have mutated or survived in other nefarious ways.
Yeah.
The series ends with something else that was kind of a spoiler, but only a little bit. So the nuclear fallout isn't across the entire world. It's just a little one. Little baby nuclear bomb goes off.
Well, even without a nuclear bomb, I would assume some radiation and stuff happens just because everything's mutated.
Yeah.
Like,
well, at least
I
on
mean,
that side of the planet.
Yeah, but I mean, stuff's messed up. Who cares if there's radiation or nuclear fallout? The solar flare messed up everything. If you didn't get mutated, then you'll die. Or
right,
you'll become a super mutant.
So tell me, Alfie, what did you think of the first 2 issues that you read?
I thought they were fun. Well, okay, fun is maybe... they were fun to read. They were definitely good. I definitely enjoyed like the build up to like, oh, this is what the solar flare did, and explaining how everyone else lived or how they're making a living, and how the other people are just like, oh yeah, we're mutants now.
This is just our way of life. Let's be pirates.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, I really dug it, and I also like how they didn't ignore the fact that there's not just humans on the planet. It's also other animals.
Yeah.
So to have a mutant shark, it's like, oh, okay, good. You're acknowledging that there are other species.
Yeah. So,
However,
did you guys get to the dogs? I can't remember if that's in the first 2 issues or not.
The dogs, I think, are at the very end of issue 2.
Oh, okay.
I
Also,
think
the
so.
snakes. The mutated snakes of nightmares.
I don't think I got to the mutated snakes of nightmares.
Yeah. They actually, so the very first time I read it, I had a nightmare about, so the snakes that they have, and Jay, or in post-production, they'll put a picture somewhere. So one of the snakes that they have literally has 4 rows of fangs. So they're attacking something and they throw this bag and out come these 3 snakes. One of them goes, and there's this teeth. There's another row of teeth. And then there's 2 more rows of so there's 3 rows of just teeth.
Oh, it's freaky.
Yeah, it gave me nightmares. Hold on. I have to show it to you now. Hold, please.
Yeah. Oh, there is that guy. Look at him.
Yeah, I'm like, bro. No, bro, no. And then come to find out, it's got 3 heads like that.
Oh, yeah.
Aw, cute little snake.
And then, some of them just look like that.
Oh. He's getting his head crushed off.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
One of those
Somebody
looked like
does that.
trimmers.
Huh? Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Afterburn.
Yeah, like-
the prequel to Trimmers.
Yeah, the one in the fold looked like the worm from Trimmers.
So, let me know. Was this scene in one of the books that you guys read?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like the ninja / fight scene where they were trying not to wake everybody in the room?
Yeah. That was one of my favorite parts. And I'm just always, I sat there and looked at that panel and was like, that's a big bed. That was
Six
my
girls.
first, there's like 9 adult people in this bed, and like in my mind I also was like, this is like that trope of like, how do you show a guy's powerful bunch of naked people in a big
Except
bed.
What's funny is, so there's 6 naked women in the bed and 2 half naked men on the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
It's a big bed though. Like, he must have had that custom built.
Yeah,
no, that's like a California king.
I call that a Texas king.
Yeah, why aren't those beds called Texas Kings? Because
they have. So there is actually a real size called Texas King that is almost double the size of a California king. That's a real thing.
Well, that's what I need.
Okay, it's like living in my head now. I think I'm actually gonna do the math on how big that bed needs to be. Like, I'm gonna measure the people, take an average of like women being like the average height. What's the average height for women? Something like that. That always seems tall to me, but I
would say 5'5" is probably average.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought was average too. But maybe I'll do that. And then, because it's a really big bed. Those people are all comfortably laying there.
Well, hey, a new segment. Well, real quick, a new segment.
So maybe it's not that
she is 5'5", right? Yeah. And then there's a whole nother half person there. So the length, and they're not even at they're all the way up at the top of the bed. So like from here to here, where am I at? From here to here, like 5'5", plus another half person, that's another like 3.5 feet. So it's got to be at least 10 feet long.
Yeah.
So it's at least a 10-foot long bed.
I think a new and great segment for any show that we do from now on is Bean's math. Just any sort of like thing that seems off, or like, hey Bean, how big would that have to be? There you go.
A big bed.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big bed.
It's a big bed. So we know it's at least 10 feet long. Mm-hmm. So that means wide, it's got to be at least 8 feet minimum.
Yeah.
So it's at least 8 feet by 10 feet.
Well, now I'm also thinking about how big is the average bed?
I'm about to look that up.
I'm about to just go lay down on my bed. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Hold on. Okay, bed dimensions. Here we go. A bed's dimensions. A twin is a 38 by 75. Twin XL is a 38 by 80. A full size is 53 by 75. A queen is 60 by 80. And I can tell you a queen is not big enough for any of that because it barely fits me, my dog, and my husband. So no, that's nowhere big. A king is 76 by 80. And a California king is 72 by 84. Yes. There's something else called an Olympic queen.
Well, I think Shaq sleeps on a custom bed, and he's very tall.
Yeah. So a California king is a 6 foot by 7 foot bed then. So like I said, Shaq died in the sun radiation explosion, and they stole his bed. This is Shaq's bed in this comic right here.
It has to be. It has to be.
That's the real secret here.
Okay, I need an Olympic queen. That's what I need. There's another one called, oh my God, guys, hold on. I found it. Are you ready? A Texas king. So a California king is 72 by 84. A Texas king is 80 by 98. A Wyoming king is 84 by 84. And an Alaska king size is 144 by 84, making it 12 foot by 7 foot. I think we found our answer.
There are so many beds that I didn't even know existed.
I know, right? He has an Alaskan king size bed. I'm calling it now. That's what that is.
gotten to
12 feet
bottom
by
of it.
7 feet. We've done
Great
the
job.
math.
This is a good
Good job.
comic
High fives.
review. Yeah.
But Bean, what did you think of the comic?
I really liked it. I really liked. Okay, this one I absolutely stand behind Alfie being like, this is a fun comic. It is a fun comic.
Yeah.
It has so many like, and like the main character is just like, he's just saying those early 2000s action movie lines. He's like, yeah, his movies are bad, but his checks are good. Like, it's got like those like little like nuggets in there. I really enjoyed just that it starts with that like, also like I said, this is like full on action movie, the comic book, and I love that. This is so fun. And like where they're doing the heist, because it begins with a heist. I love where it's like, you know that it's not getting into the meat of the story yet, but it's like a little like action scene to show you what the main character is capable of, what they do, like, you know, like to show you so much about them and their capabilities before you get into the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
And I always have fun with those little flashbacks of, it's like 1 year ago, this is what I was doing, and this is what I thought was happening, but this is what actually happened. And then it's like, well, now this is what's happening. And then you find out why he has no hair at the end, and you're just like, oh, that's why he's full of shenanigans. Okie dokie. Shenanigans it is.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I will say, this one, if you read Afterburn and you like it, it reminded me a lot of another comic I really like, which is The Last Flight Out, that is waiting to be made into a movie. Like, oh my god, that would be the best movie.
If it's the one that I'm thinking of, I think they turned it into it's a European show, 2 seasons in.
Is it? Is it? So. This one came out 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, then it might be. Then I might be thinking of something else. I'm sorry. Ignore me.
This is like, it was a sleeper series, so I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, yeah, they made a movie called The Last Flight Out, but this was really, it was like a very short. I think it was only like six issues. It was a really short story, but it was so good. And like, I'm pretty sure by like number 3, I was the only person in the store pulling it. It was when I worked at Space Cadettes, so like I knew I was the only person pulling it. But the story is that a guy is a scientist and like an inventor, and things happen. I won't get into it too much. Basically, he is estranged from his daughter, and there is a huge global climate crisis that happens, and he is the one who has designed the arc ships that are going to go up like into space and like save basically the rich people and the powerful people. Like that's who gets to be on the ship and go into space. And he's like, well, yeah, my daughter, of course she's gonna like show up. Like, I haven't spoken to her in years, but like, of course she's gonna show up to get in the arc ship. Of course, why wouldn't she? And then of course she doesn't. And then he's like, he's gonna be on the last flight out, and he's been so busy with work that he hasn't even like really paid attention to the fact that he doesn't have any idea where his daughter is.
Rude.
And it like that thing where it's like week left until the arc is like taking off. He's like, I gotta go find her. And yeah.
1 week, my bro.
Yeah.
1. Rude.
Yeah.
Okay. And on that note, it is actually Alfie's turn to do pick of the week. So Alfie, please tell us, what are we reading?
Okay, since it's been in my pile for a little while, why don't we read 7 Sons?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know anything about it, but I'm excited.
Which
it's very culty. It's from Image.
Oh, okay.
And it's it's very like, oh well, our new son has been born, so we will follow it now. It's a very culty type religious. I would venture to say horror, just because of the way that it is. I really like what I've read, but I've been putting it off for some reason. It's just it's gotten stacked on my to read pile, and I really want to read it. So I would like to read that, and I would like everyone else's opinions on it.
Yay!
I'm excited. It actually, I was looking it up just to make sure that I could find it to read, because that was an issue I had this week, because I put it off to the last minute and then was like, oh crap, I need to find a comic book. But yeah, it just ended like 2 weeks ago. Was when the last one was released, so.
I think it might be like 7 of 7. Like, I think it might be 7 songs, 7 issues. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to read it. And the Image usually does pretty good with their really out there books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is the one that has the zombie Jesus on the last issue, I think.
Oh, I see him. Wow, that is a zombie Jesus right there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, Jenna, you know what I'm talking about because you actually pointed it out to me. It was like, oh, that's zombie Jesus.
Did I? Is that something I did?
Yes.
I'm just imagining
you were
that
putting
as
up
Christmas card.
Oh! Okay. I remember this one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it would be an
remember
Easter card. Happy
It would
Easter.
be a good Easter card.
Yeah.
It would be a great Easter card. For me, probably only.
I'm gonna do that.
I just said that.
Isn't the actual meaning of zombie means risen from the dead? Didn't Jesus do that? Thus making Jesus a zombie? Like, he rose from the dead.
I mean, there's a whole song called Zombie Was a Jesus. Or Jesus Was a Zombie. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Jesus Was a Zombie, and it's by Zombie Girl. I think that's the band name. It's an old thing that I heard from Vampire Freaks back in the day. So
I love it. All right, guys, this has been Space Cadets. I've been Jenna. That's been Alfie, and I believe that's been Bean. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you all again next week. Bye.
Bye.